Hi everybody, it's James here from Panache Cruises, and today I am joined by a very special guest. Alexis is here, who's the Executive Culinary Director for Oceania Cruises. Alexis, lovely to meet you. How are you?
I'm good. Thank you very much, James. How about
Good.
you?
Yeah, very good, thanks. And I see you've got a nice certificate strategically placed behind you, Alexis. Tell me a little bit about that.
Actually, it was not on purpose, but I have positioned myself in that direction. It's my certification for Master Chef of French, where has been, promoted or elect, I might say, a couple of years ago, yeah, to the
Fantastic.
association.
Well, you must be really proud to be a part of that association, yeah.
Yes, absolutely. It's a great worldwide association with a French chef, and it's very a great recognition and achievement from my side. I'm very happy about it. Yeah.
Oh, fantastic. Well, Alexis, at Panache Cruises, we absolutely love working with Oceania. I'm very passionate about the Oceania product. I've been very, very fortunate to be on the launch cruises and at the launch ceremonies of the last four Oceania cruise ship launches, including Vista in 2024. And the one thing, or one of the things that stands out about Oceania is the culinary delights that you guys offer. And of course, you're very proud to say, you offer some of the finest food at sea. So would you like to, first of all, give me a little bit of a background about yourselves, and then let's talk about Oceania's food?
All right, so I'm going to try to be short and sweet and not to explain too long about my life. But I'm born near Paris, obviously, and I grew up there until the age of 14 years old. Then I moved to a small, tiny island in near Mauritius in Indian Ocean called Réunion. Réunion Island is a French colony island where I have done my apprenticeship and my certification of culinary school. And from there, at age of 18, I went back to Paris and I start my career working to a different restaurant, including Michelin star restaurant and Relais Chateau Association for a few years. And then I've got an opportunity to work in London. So that was a good way for me to start to learn a bit more about English and understand a bit about the international operation out of France. So, and from there, I've got an opportunity to start in 2004 with Oceania Cruises as a chef of Toscana restaurant. I make my way up to 2007 as an executive chef. So I was in charge of one of the small ship, the R-class ship, and I worked basically on most of them. Then on 2019, I stopped for a couple of years. I have a newborn son, so I decided to stop a bit for a couple of years to focus on my family, and then I came back with Oceania in 2012, where I become senior executive chef in charge of the O-class ship, so a similar class than Vista actually, the bigger ship, bigger operation. In 2017, I've got an opportunity to look to a different operation. I was in charge for Viking River Cruise for 4 years, in charge of all the culinary development and product there. And in 2022, I've got an opportunity to come back to my actual role with Oceania Cruise, where I'm very pleased about it and very exciting about it. Yeah.
Oh, fantastic. Well, you've had a very varied career and progressed, fantastically through Oceania, and obviously
Yes.
had experience elsewhere as well. But no, great that you've reached such heights in your career. Congratulations.
Thank you very much, James.
Let's talk about the food on Oceania. That's what everyone wants to hear about. I absolutely love the food on Oceania. The variety of things. I've got to say that miso glazed sea bass on in red ginger is
Yes.
absolutely fantastic and one of my favorites. And I'm sure I'm going to be tasting that when I get on board Vista in just a few weeks' time. So, tell me a little bit about the cuisine on board Oceania, especially for those people that perhaps aren't quite up to speed on what Oceania do offer on board.
So first of all, I think it is important to mention that we have really an extant variety of food on board. So it goes from specialty restaurant where we have a different type of cuisine and in quantity of restaurant according to the concept. So I'm going to explain a bit more about it. So let's say, as you mentioned, we have red ginger when we have really a typical Panasian cuisine and Panasian ambience. And then we have Toscana. Toscana is our Italian restaurant where we're making as well everyday fresh pasta. We have Italian chefs there making fresh pasta, gnocchi, and we have a different type of Italian cuisine. Then we have on the haut class, we have our restaurant Jack. Jack is our French restaurant serving all the classics that you can imagine about the French cuisine. On Vista lately, Amber. Amber is an American family style restaurant, a bit more casual, more easygoing, more like family style serving food that you can share at the table. And of course, our classic steakhouse, Polo Grill, where we do serve an extent variety of meat, grill, lobster, crab cake, and you name it. I mean, a dish that you can find in a steakhouse. But that's mostly for the specialty restaurant. Then we do have our buffet, as most of the cruise line does, where we serve breakfast, lunch, and dinner. We have our West Grill, the selection of burger, different type of sandwiches, a cold buffet. One of our latest signature restaurant, if I might say, is Aquamar. Aquamar is a healthy place where you can get for breakfast and lunch different type of juice, smoothie, bowls, salads. So it's more like a healthy place on board, but so far I think it's one of the most popular restaurant that we have. Talking about the different options we have as well our main dining room where we do serve breakfast, lunch, and dinner with international cuisine, so different type of offering of food. We do have one table on board which is called Privée. Privée is really a unique experience, exclusive dining experience where we don't go over 8 to 10 guests. We serve our Dom Pérignon experience. So we have a Dom Pérignon menu. We are in partnership with Dom Pérignon. We have a 6-7 course dinner with a different pairing and as well another offering of Odyssey menu, which has been in place for many years already. So that's, of course, a bit of overview of what we have.
Fantastic. Thank you for that explanation. So if we just talk about a few different areas of food. So if we start off with the main dining room, it always amazes me on Oceania Cruises how fantastic the food is. People see all these speciality dining options on board, but for me the main dining room, being most recently on Vista especially, it's absolutely splendid what you guys put out there. How do you manage it on a day-to-day basis to give that variety and ensure that quality is so high, with it being the main dining room?
Yeah. So I think when it comes to the quality, for me, the quality goes as well with consistency. And for that, we have the tools for the team on board to make sure they can execute properly all our food offering that we deliver to the guests. I explained myself about that. So we're working with recipes, and this is one of my job as well to develop recipes, to create recipes with picture, with different methods. We have ingredients there, so meaning that any chef that come on board can replicate and have all the tools to make sure he can replicate the recipe the way it's supposed to be. And as well, this is a guarantee for our guests that if you come, for example, on Vista and you're having the Caesar salad, that if you go into another ship of our cruise line, of course, you will find the same variety and the same dressing recipe and the same quality of Caesar salad. And this applies for everything. We even have a recipe for fruit slice. So just to give you an idea of how precise we are. And if you look, I think overall we have more than 4,000 recipes active to our operation just to run our day-to-day operation. And beside the food, because I think this is only one part of it, is important to mention as well about the service, because the service, we can do the best food at sea, but if you don't have a proper service behind it, it doesn't work. So I think is addition of both that make the experience so great and so special on board Oceania.
Fantastic, and that's just the main dining room. But if we polarize that to Privée, for example, 8-10 people is it maximum in there to have the Dom Perignon experience? Let's just talk about that for a second. What can people expect? It's an additional charge to go into Privée, but what can people expect?
Yeah. So talking about the charge, there is an additional charge for the dining, for the experience. But I would like to remind everyone that the additional charge is not for the food. The additional charge is just to covering the beverage, because one of the philosophy of Oceania from the very beginning is not to charge our guests for any food served on board. So of course we need to charge an additional cost regarding the Dom Perignon experience, because it's taking it's quite expensive meal as well. And we are working with Dom Perignon, and we have a different vintage of Dom Perignon, including Rosé Dom Perignon, with bottle up to $400-500. So to be honest, it's not one place where we make money. We are losing money, but we are giving an experience to the guests, which is amazing. So that's why. And that is a small table, because we really want to be at the level of Michelin star gastronomic level, to make sure we can really provide to the guests high standard.
And moving on to some of the other restaurant experiences, it's the attention to detail that you guys pick up on. So going back to I mentioned earlier about red ginger, you get to choose your different chopsticks. I think there's 5 or 6 different kinds of chopsticks that you can choose from. So for me, that just shows the attention to detail that you guys go to in each of the different restaurants. When you go to Polo Grill, the quality of the steak is absolutely fantastic, isn't it, Alexis? I have been fortunate to try the Queen's and King's cut, for example. Where does the steak come from in Oceania? Tell me a little bit about that.
So we have different origin of beef. Obviously, we have some beef. Our beef for Polos come from United States, and then on the ship we have introduced now a new Australian beef, which is great quality as well. I want to come back to Polo, especially now you're going to go on Vista, and we have introduced only on Vista for now some Galician beef. Which is beef strip loin from Galice, from south of Spain. The particularity of this meat is that is picked from an old cow, which is 15 to 20 years old, and so the meat is a bit more mature, more flavorful, and that's really a different experience of American beef or even French beef and so on. Our specialty restaurant is very important that we can keep the identity of the country that we want to represent into the cuisine. So I explain myself, if you have a Panasian restaurant, first of all, you will have a Panasian chef. You're not going to have an Italian chef or French chef there cooking for you. So really focus on really to make sure we have the right chef in the right place. We select the finest product as well in regard of each location, each venue on board. We pay a lot of attention to what I call art de la table. L'art de la table for me is everything which goes on the table. So from the cutlery, the glass, and the chinaware. So all the chinaware are really focused on dedicated to select and dedicate to the concept of the restaurant. It's important as well for us to respect the identity of the concept, and that's why you will never see in our specialty restaurant any fancy food or molecular food, because it's not Oceania. It's not what we want to do. I'm not criticizing, it's just not our cup of tea, and it's not the field where we want to be. But for us, it's important that for our guests are totally in immersion with the experience that they have into the specialty restaurant or into the concept on board that we are offering. That's, I think, one of the key factor of the success here.
Fantastic. No, great. Thank you. Thank you for that. And finally, Alexis, just give us a little glance into the future. You've mentioned a couple of new things that are coming on Allura. What about over the next few years as the Oceania fleet expands? I know we're expecting at least 2 more ships from Oceania by the end of the decade. What can we expect when those ships come out or across the existing fleet?
One thing for sure I can discuss about is Allura. Allura, as I mentioned, it will be really an alignment of Vista. But not only, because as I mentioned, we're going to have the creperie, which is a new offering that we'll have at Barista. But I want to precise as well that we took an opportunity to revise and to upgrade some of our menu on board. So, for example, we were talking about the main dining room. I have changed the entire dining room menu. I mean, obviously, I kept some of the signature dishes that we are doing over the last 20 years, but we really refresh our offering when it comes to the dining room, starting from breakfast, but a lunch as well. The lunch was it will be even more focused to a brasserie style, like really a French brasserie style with more French dishes and more dishes that guests like to eat. At dinner time as well, we have revised our offering. I have upgraded a lot of new dishes, create, I think, altogether more than 300 new recipes. So it's going to be a lot of new dishes for our guests. For dinner, we're going to have more individual serving, which I want to make a bit of difference between lunch and dinner. And dinner, you'll have more individual serving at individual dishes that you can just grab from the buffet and take and eat. So that gives you an opportunity to try many things at the buffet. And going back to the lunch as well, we do have some team lunch until now, but I extend the selection of the team lunch. So until now, we have we had basically the kind of seafood. We had Italian, we have Asian, and I have changed and reviewed this one. So the Italian, I moved to a Mediterranean lunch, so really like a more variety of food will be available there. We have created as well a French bistro lunch, so give you an opportunity to try some of French food for a full team lunch at Terrace Cafe. We have created a Nikkei lunch, which is a fusion between Peruvian and Japanese food. So, of course, a lot of influence from South America and as well from Japan. We have a review and revise our Mexican lunch, so that gives you really. We were at 3 team lunch and I doubled up to 6. So the guests will have more opportunity to have a different type of international cuisine during lunchtime. And going back to dinner as well. I know I moved from lunch to dinner, dinner to lunch, but it's good to talk as well about our chef market dinner program, where this will still on, and we're gonna even reinforce more and more. So every cruise, the guests will have 2 nights according to where the ship sail. A team dinner according to the country, the country where the guests sail. So we have, I think, so far now 28 chef market dinner in place, including all different type of country around the world. And that's a very nice touch to our guests, because the chef has an opportunity to go to the market or to buy some local product, and that we can basically give to our guests
Alexis, your passion really shines through when it comes to food, and I just can't wait to get back on board
Yes, for sure.
Oceania in just a few weeks' time. So, thanks so much for spending this time with me today. I really appreciate it. It's been great to meet you, and great to talk about food. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you so much, Jem, for your time, and I really appreciate to have this conversation with you.
Thanks, Alexis.
Thank you. I wish you a lovely day.